Thank you. Welcome to our Resources Board. It's Tuesday, the 8th of September. We've got a lot of visitors today, so we've got the existing board members, and so welcome to those additional visitors as well. No members of the public, so we'll crack on with the agenda. Got the evacuation procedure, but as most of the people have joined in from home, we can move on from that. Apologies for absence. We've got apologies from Jackie Chambers and Jane Farrow. Have we got any disclosable pecuniary and non-pecuniary interests? I take silence as a no and move on to agenda item 4, which is public participation. We don't have any visitors this evening from members of the public or any speakers, so we can then move on to agenda item number 5, which is our internal audit plan and counterfraud activity. We have Linda Downs with us this evening online, our internal auditor, and the report is to set out the proposed internal audit plan for 2021 and update us board members on the work of the counterfraud officer. Recommendation is we approve the internal audit plan and that the work of the counterfraud officer be noted. I'm happy to move that from the chair if I have a second.
Bernadette.
Thank you very much, Bernadette. All those in favour? Clive will lead us through the roll call.
Thank you. Councillor Davey.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Deakin.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Dervix.
4.
Councillor Hayfield.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Humphreys.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Simpson.
As much as I'm tempted to change my mind, I'm still 4.
Councillor Singh.
4.
Thank you. And Councillor Simmons.
4.
Thank you, Chair. Carried.
Thank you.
Moving on to agenda item 6. The purpose of the report is to present the internal audit's annual report, which is a statement on conformance, the results of quality assurance, the opinion on our overall adequacy, and a summary of work that supports that opinion. I can't see any hands up with any. Oh, I have got Neil Dervick's hands up there. Councillor Dervick's.
Thank you. Couple of questions on pages 12 and 13. First one is about refuse collection, and the figure of 125 appears at the end of the audit findings, but it's not totally clear what that represents. Perhaps if Richard Dobbs could enlighten us a little bit further on that figure. And on page 13, it's to do with pest control. And there is no pest control officer in post at the moment. Now, I understand that this situation arose just as we were going into the COVID lockdown, so it's very difficult to do anything about it. But I just wondered how much progress has been made towards filling this very important role. If anybody can answer that.
2 parts there. I probably will defer to either Richard or to Linda with regard to the 125 regarding refuse.
I'm happy to answer it, Chair. The figure refers to the number of missed collections per 100,000 collection schedule is taken out, so it's carried out. So it's 125 out of 100,000 collections missed is the figure. Our current performance from memory is around about mid 40s to 50s. I think we're hitting that sort of level. So we are performing well in excess of 125,000, but well below. But you get my drift. We're performing better than it's not exactly a stretch target, I think is the point being made in the report. Sure.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. And in relation to the pest control officer, I'll ask Sue Garner if she could update us on any developments in regard to an appointment.
Oh, yes, thank you, Chair. I'm afraid this is an area that has suffered, if you like, as part of the COVID work, so we haven't been able to progress it. But as things are loosening a little now, we are getting back onto this as soon as we can, and we'll move it along as speedily as possible.
Thank you. I know that there are people waiting to receive help from us on pest control. So.
Thank you. I'm happy to move this from the chair. I can't see any other hands for questions. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. That's Councillor Deakin. All in favour? I will allow Claude to take us through our roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Davey.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Deakin.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Dervick.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Farrow. Oops. Apologies. I'm sorry, I realised. Councillor Hayfield.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Humphreys.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Simpson.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Singh.
4.
Thank you. And Councillor Simmons.
4.
Thank you. Okay.
That's carried. Moving on to agenda item 7, which is the progress of the corporate plan and performance indicator targets relevant to resources board. Recommendation that the members consider the performance achieved and highlight any areas for further investigation. Are there any questions relating to that? If there isn't any questions, I'll move that from the chair. Oh, sorry, I've missed you, Councillor Dervix.
Sorry, I was going to withdraw my hand as you'd moved on, but it is a pity to see that some of these red areas are so bad, purely because of the COVID situation that we are in. I find them very worrying, but I would like to congratulate the staff that have been involved in making these as good as they are. They're not good. They are very worrying, but I think people have worked really hard to get us where we are with these. So thank you very much to those staff that have been involved.
Thank you for that. And your thanks are noted. I'll move that from the chair.
Bernadette.
Thank you.
Second it.
Clive will take us through the roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Davey.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Deakin.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Dervick.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Hayfield.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Humphreys.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Simpson.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Singh.
4.
Thank you. And Councillor Simmons.
4.
Thank you, Chair. Carried.
That's carried. Moving on to agenda item 8, which is the progress report on achievement of corporate plan performance indicator targets from April to June 2020. Again, to consider the achievement and highlight any areas for further investigation. Are there any questions? Okay, I can't see any hands up there. Have I? So I'll move that from the chair.
Second it, Singh.
Thank you. Clive will take us through our roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Davey.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Deakin.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Dervick.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Hayfield.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Humphreys.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Simpson.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Singh.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Simmons.
4.
Thank you.
That's carried. Moving on to agenda item 9, which is parking in North Warwickshire. The report is asking us to note the submission of a joint application for Warwickshire County Council and here at NWBC to the Department of Transport to begin the formal process for the implementation of CPE, civil parking enforcement, across the borough by November the 1st, 2021. It also asks members to recommend that the Executive Board allocate some funding within this year's capital programme to enable improvement works at Water Alton Car Park. Do I have any questions in relation to that report?
move the recommendation, Chairman.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Dave Humphreys, second.
Thank you. Again, Clive, will do our roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Davey.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Deakin.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Dervick.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Hayfield.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Humphreys.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Simpson.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Singh.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Simmons.
4. That's unanimous. Thank you. And we'll move on to agenda item 10, which is to approve a movement between account codes of £257,630 from kitchens and bathrooms to the multi-trade budget in the capital programme. Do I have any questions regarding this agenda item?
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, I've got no hands. So, Councillor Humphreys?
Yeah, I was going to ask, I thought, because this is part of the housing, does it all come from the housing budget, or is it paid for out of the standard budget of, the rate collection?
No, it's housing, but it's part of the capital programme.
Thanks for that, just confused me that did, thank you.
Sorry. Housing. Any other questions? Let me just check my screen to see if I've got any hands up there. If not, then I'm happy to move that from the chair. Sorry.
happy to second, Caroline.
Thank you. Just bear with me 1 second. I just want to clarify something. Sorry, I have Councillor Dawn Downs wanting to speak on that. That's fine. Thank you. I couldn't see you on my screen. Sorry about that.
No, sorry, can I just send my apologies for being late? I was stuck at the hospital, sorry.
That's absolutely fine. Thank you for joining us this evening. Did you have a question regarding agenda item 10? Okay, thank you. So that has been moved and seconded, so we'll do our roll call on agenda item 10. Sorry, I didn't want to move to the vote in case you wanted to make a point about that, Everton Dawn. Sorry about that. Thank you, Clive.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Davey.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Deakin.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Derby.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Hayfield.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Humphreys.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Simpson.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Singh.
4,
Thank you. Councillor Simmons.
4.
Thank you.
Thank you, that's unanimous. So we'll move on to agenda item 11, which is the General Fund Budgetary Control Report, covering expenditure from April 2020 to July 2020. The recommendation is that the report be noted and the board requests any information it feels would assist in monitoring the budgets under our control. Are there any questions in relation to this item?
I'll move the item.
Thank you, Councillor Deakin. And do I have a second? I'll second that. And then I'll ask Clive to do our roll call. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Councillor Davey.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Deakin.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Turvey.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Hayfield.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Humphreys.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Simpson.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Singh. Councillor Singh, you may be on mute.
4. Sorry.
Thank
4.
you. Thank you, Councillor Simmons.
4.
Thank you.
That's unanimous. So we'll move on to agenda item 12, which is the Housing Revenue Accounts, Budgetary Control Report, period ending 31st of July. It's simply to consider any further information required. Is there any questions in relation to agenda item 12? If not, then I'll move that from the chair. Do I have a second?
Can second that, Major.
Thank you, Major. We'll move to the roll call. Thank you, Clive.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Davey.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Deakin.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Dervick.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Hayfield.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Humphreys.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Simpson.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Singh.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Simmons.
4.
Thank you.
Thank you, that's unanimous. We'll move on to agenda item 13, the Annual Treasury Report for 1920. Recommendation that the Annual Treasury Report is noted and that the Annual Treasury Report is approved in a recommendation to the Council, full Council. So if are there any questions in relation to that? I haven't got any questions, any hands up, so I'll move that from the chair.
I'll second that, David Humphreys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Davey.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Deakin.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Dervix.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Hayfield.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Humphreys.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Simpson.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Singh. You might be on mute, Councillor Singh.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Simmons.
4.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take that as unanimous and move on to agenda item 14, which is the Risk Management Annual Report. And the recommendation is that the progress is noted. So is there any questions in relation to the Risk Management Report? There aren't any questions, then we'll move that. I would just like to note that, obviously highlight that there are some additions to this risk management log in the health impact of coronavirus and devolution issues that have come up. So there's some new additions to that, so it might be worth having a look at that detail. But I'll move that from the chair.
Second, Caroline.
Thank you, Councillor Davey. Clive, can you take us through the roll call?
Thank you, Councillor Davey.
4.
Thank you, Councillor Deakin.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Dervix.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Hayfield.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Humphreys.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Simpson.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Singh.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Simmons.
4. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Clive. That's unanimous. We'll move on to agenda item 15, which is, I've got 16 in front of me, which is the members' allowances. If there are any questions, please raise your hand. No, I'll move that from the chair. Do I have a second?
I'll second
that.
Thank you, Councillor Simpson. I'll let Clive take us through the roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Davey. Councillor Davey.
Four.
Thank you. Councillor Deakin.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Dervix.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Hayfield.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Humphreys.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Simpson.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Singh.
4.
Thank you. Councillor Simmons.
4. That
Thank
sounded
you.
unanimous to me. Thank you, Clive. Moving on to agenda item 16, which is the exclusion of the press and public.
Before we move on to that, could I ask your indulgence, because I missed a couple of questions on agenda item 10, just for clarity, which would not have made any difference to the vote, I don't think, but if I could ask them before we go into the confidential part, is that possible or not? If not, I'll ask them after the meeting.
Can I ask you to take them up with myself as chair and Sue Garner as the officer after the meeting? In terms of the movement from, and it's the movement of the 257,000 from one account to another account within the capital programme. Is the item you're talking about? So can we take that out after that?
No, it's not actually, but it doesn't matter. We can take it afterwards. I'm quite happy with that.
That's agenda item 10. So.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, sorry. Yes, if I could just seek some clarity after the meeting, then.
That's absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Okay, so back to the exclusion of the public and press, agenda item number 16. Obviously, under section 100A of the Local Government Act, the public and press be excluded from the meeting for the following items of business on the grounds that they involve the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined by Schedule 12A to the Act. They cover items 17, 18 and 19 in the agenda. As you'll be aware, there are various categories of information which are exempt. When information is exempt, the Council may pass a resolution to exclude the public from the meeting or part thereof for which it's considered, but the Council is not obliged to. This differs from confidential information, which is categorised differently and in respect of which the Council must exclude the public when considering it. The categories of exempt information are set out in Schedule 12A of the Local Government Act 1972, and in relation to our meeting this evening, point 1 is relevant to item 17, point 3 to item 18, and point 4 to item 19, which I can. So the examples are in item 17, revealing the intended purchaser's identity prior to considering whether the transaction should be authorised may lead to publication of information regarding their personal life and finances which could be harmful to them. Item 18, publishing details of the proposal prior to consideration of whether it's appropriate to extend a contract could reveal, again, harmful information regarding to a contractor's financial position. And item 19, since the proposal is in its formative stage, it could be harmful to employees to publish details of the service area concerned where there is no certainty as to the ultimate outcome prior to implementing any relevant internal consultation process. Thank you. So do I have I'll move that from the chair. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Thank you. That's Deakin, and rather than go and do a roll call, can we deal with that through by exemption? If anyone has an issue with that, can they speak on that rather than go through a roll call to go into press and public? Thank you. I have no hands up, so if you just bear with us a second, we'll just pause so we can put onto YouTube